Eric Bieniemy has been tremendous for us, and I think is tremendous for the National Football League, and I'm hoping he has an opportunity to go somewhere and do his thing where he can run the show and be Eric Bieniemy.
Andy Reid talking about his offensive coordinator, who's been the coordinator for 5 years now with Patrick Mahomes. 5 AFC championship games at Arrowhead Stadium, 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 Super Bowl victories, and Eric Bieniemy still can't get
Just not good enough, Mike. Not good enough. Not good enough, Mike. He's got to win 7 Super Bowls and have the top offense in football for 10 years in a row, and then maybe we'll think about him as a head coach. I mean, look at this resume. And then here, Mike.
And you can say it's Andy Reid. It's Andy Reid. Well, then how in the hell did Doug Peterson and Matt Nagy get head coaching?
Well, exactly
as
right.
Offensive coordinators for Andy Reid.
Right. I mean, what do you think this is more Andy Reid than any of the coaches in San Francisco that have had Kyle Shanahan in front of them, or McVay? I mean, do you think that those two guys are like, oh, you guys, I'm going to sit over here and drink pina coladas. You guys come up with the game plan. Yeah, that's what they're doing in San Francisco and L.A. It just. Again, the optics don't look right here. I want to swear with the F word. It's insane. It's insane that he hasn't got a head coaching job. It doesn't look right. It's wrong. We've heard enough. We know we were spot on always, right? First off, he's part of the architecture here of one of the most unique offenses we've ever seen, and building it around a unique player that you're talking about as an all-time great, and I'm there with you, right? So that's amazing. And I don't understand it. I really don't. And it bothers me to my core. It really is I don't understand it.
I got a text over the weekend from Jason Fletcher, who now represents Eric Bieniemy. And usually when I hear from folks, it's off the record. He was on the record. I mean, I think is an example of kind of the exasperation that maybe the Bieniemy camp is feeling. But Fletcher said that as of Super Bowl Sunday, going into the day, he had an outside shot of becoming the Colts head coach. That looks like it's not going to happen. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
If not the Colts as the head coach, back to the Chiefs as offensive coordinator. He's under consideration for the Ravens, OC job, Commanders as well, maybe the Cardinals, depending upon how things shake out there. But as of right now, it appears that locked on to Jonathan Gannon as the head coach of the Cardinals. He interviewed with the team yesterday. And Shane Steichen declined to say whether he'll be the Colts' next head coach. He's the Eagles' offensive coordinator. There have been reports that Steichen is the guy in Indy. Gannon may be the guy in Arizona.
Yeah.
And it was weird. Gannon declined to talk to the media at all after the game. And I don't think assistants are required to talk, but it was still odd that he didn't.
It was. Well, yeah, it is odd. It is. I mean, we know how hot of a name he is. And then, again, it's kind of, you'd like to see guys, hey, stand in front, own up to a little bit of what happened, right? I mean, again, it was a 24-14 lead, and you had a defense that was being talked about as one of the best defenses we've seen here in recent history. And they blew that lead, right? Right? So, yeah, it was a little odd. But the Bieniemy thing is like the head-scratcher of head-scratchers. I don't get it. And I think a lot of it, again, goes back to something that we were spot on from the get-go. He's not a politician. He's not always going to say exactly what the owner wants to hear, right? Because he's going to go, wait, I'm the football coach, owner. You're just owning. You don't know. So I got to kind of tell you what I think here. And he's not a politician that way. And we've seen with guys like that, if you don't kiss the ass of the owner the right way, then you might not get the head coaching job. And that's what I feel like is going on with Eric Bieniemy a little bit.
I also think part of it, too, much like Tua Tagovailoa has become the name and the face of concussions for the NFL, Eric Bieniemy has become the guy where it's like, wait a minute, this guy can't get hired, and he's black, and the owners aren't hiring him in part because of that, right?
Right.
And so I feel like the owners are like, well, then I'm not going to give in to the woke mob or whatever. I'm not going to give in. I'm going to hold my ground because there's so many people out there saying you should hire Bieniemy, you should hire Bieniemy. I'm not going to let anyone tell me what to do. I still own this team. I still do what I want. I'll do what I want, as Cartman once said on South Park. I feel like that's what some owners at some level, it's a visceral thing where it's like, I'm not going to let you bully me. I'm going to do what I want to do. You're not going to push my decision making. You're not going to make me hire somebody just because you out there, all these people that think Eric Bieniemy should get a shot, but he should get a shot. If Doug Peterson and Matt Nagy can graduate from offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs into a head coaching job, how in the hell does the guy who's been the coordinator for 5 years with Patrick Mahomes and had a great run of success, how does he not get an opportunity to go be a head coach of an NFL team? It's mind-boggling.
No, I think, again, I think a little bit is like goes into, well, it's Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. I think that's the conversation a little bit. Then it's the politics. But I think, again, too, what I would look at more is, Mike, what do you think? I think he probably needs to make a lateral move and go be an offensive coordinator somewhere else. If his main goal is to be a head coach, I do think so. Maybe he has to go stand alone and go, look, I am pretty damn good. Look at what I'm here in Baltimore or I'm here in Washington, and look at our offense. Yeah, Andy Reid taught me a lot, but look, I'm capable of doing it on my own here. And maybe that's what it's going to take to be a head coach. But again, when you just kind of look at the guys that have been hired around football and it just doesn't make sense. That's all we're saying, especially with the offensive minds and what this guy's resume has been over the last few years.
It takes us back to the point that Andy Reid was making. Eric Bieniemy goes somewhere and runs the show, so there isn't a perception that he's just second fiddle to Andy Reid, even though, again, that didn't keep Doug Peterson, who won a Super Bowl, by the way, or Matt Nagy, who was coach of the year in his first season with the Bears, from becoming head coaches. So maybe that's the key. Go to Baltimore, go to D.C., go to Arizona if that opportunity arises, and prove yourself all over again.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.